Welcome back to the SOTI video series. My name is Richard Fitzsimmons and I'm joined by David Easer, both of us senior principal instructors here at SOTI. And in our previous video, we successfully installed the SOTI Connect components on a single server. In this video, we'll just spend a few minutes discussing how flexible SOTI Connect's architecture can be, and that sometimes organizations may have requirements to distribute some of these components.
Like we discussed, for example, having a protocol adapter running on a separate machine closer to the location of where the printers are.
Exactly, that's a great example. So if we do, what sort of things are we going to need to consider?
Well, I have to begin and to stress that, first of all, you need to know which type of devices you're going to end up managing, so then you install the appropriate protocol adapter for those devices. But once you know, you're going to need the same installer, by the way, that we used to run it in this example, except that you're just going to be selecting the protocol adapter. And additionally, though, you'll need to make sure that your ports are open for the communication requirements that we have. And well, you guys remember that certificate that we used initially, that grandfather? Well, we're going to need that in order to establish and create that connection between the separate instance and the core instance of SOTI Connect.
Let's take a look. I'm now running the Connect installer, but I know it looks very similar to what you ran previously, but I'm now actually running this on a separate machine that I want to communicate with, of course, our core SOTI Connect components now. So when I click Install SOTI Connect Components, I'm going to select custom, and I don't want to add all of these elements because I don't actually want to reinstall SOTI Connect. I'm just looking for, let's say, a specific protocol adapter. Maybe I'll choose this one, and this is the one that I want to be installed on a separate machine, but still able to communicate with SOTI Connect Core on our server 1, or the server that we installed everything else on previously. So there we are. What am I going to need to specify here?
Well, you need to make sure that you are providing the certificate that SOTI Connect understands, recognizes, and acknowledges in order to secure that communication between those components. So it's probably going to ask you to find that root certificate, which, by the way, you can also get from the console on SOTI Connect.
You can, and you might note here that the option for generating a new root is grayed out because, of course, we aren't installing the management server, the core component that makes this possible. I'll click Next. Now we need to specify the management service and logging a service address that this particular protocol adapter is going to communicate with. So what's that?
That's a fully qualified domain name of the server that we used to initially install SOTI Connect. And this is one of the main reasons why you want to make sure that your entire FQDN is propagated down to that server, so that things can work properly. This is the kind of stuff that probably will give you trouble if that didn't happen. So once you test connection, you should get a little check mark saying something, oh, actually that's successfully connected. You know what I mean. You get the approval.
That's it. And we can just continue this process if we were installing other protocol adapters as well. We'll confirm where we're installing the local files related to this protocol adapter or the particular component we're installing. Click Next and Install. Now, the intention would be after a very short amount of time, we should see that a new protocol adapter will appear on our system architecture screen. We'll get a little green tick on the top right hand of the screen, and we'll see the protocol adapter and its information listed.
Absolutely, and it actually should be reflecting the IP address of the server that we used to install the new protocol adapter. So you're going to see adapter 5, and I think it's going to be showing all the details just like in here.
Okay, there we are. That's our green tick. We can see that a new protocol adapter, adapter 5, is now running. We can see adapter 5 listed here, and we can see that the IP address is very different compared to the other 5 protocol adapters because this is now on a separate machine, if not a separate network.
All right, Richard. Well, let's help our folks with something. Let's say that they, for some reason, don't have access to the originally exported certificate, and they a few months later they need to do this. How can they actually get it from the actual portal? Like, let's say they need to retrieve a copy of that certificate. Can you show us where to go?
Well, I know we've mentioned this a few times. It's available underneath administration, so please keep in mind there is role-based access in SOTI Connect. It can be that only an administrator can get into this section, but for somebody who can, they can go to certificates management, and we can download our root certificate direct from the console if we need to.
Perfect.
Thank you for joining us for this video where we've seen that the SOTI Connect components can be distributed based on an organization's needs. Join us for further SOTI Connect videos where we'll discuss third-party components and device enrollment.
And for further tutorials, please visit and subscribe the SOTI YouTube channel. And for more information about the SOTI One platform, visit us at SOTI.net.